it. Here is how I'm getting diehard fans from the most unexpected place. Hey, it's John here. If you're new to my channel, I'm the founder of one of the largest music promotion platforms in the world called Hyped It. I'm an independent music artist with over 12 million streams on Spotify. But what's most important, I've helped over 10,000 artists and bands grow their music to over 100 million streams together on Spotify. Today, I want to talk about Hyped It's fan targeting AI for Facebook and Instagram ads to Spotify. And I'll be honest, it surprised me at first. I was used to thinking that if I'm promoting my music, I should only be targeting people who show obvious interest in it, right? People who follow similar artists or genres, for example. But what if I told you that Hyped It's AI sometimes targets interests that seem to have zero connection to music at all, and yet they perform incredibly well? I know that sounds crazy, but trust me, I've seen it with my own eyes and my own music. So let me show you on my screen right here. I'm logged into Hyped It. I'm looking at my ad campaigns dashboard, and what I want to show you is this campaign over here that I set up a little less than 3 weeks ago. And the reason why I want to show you this campaign here is for two reasons. The first one is this campaign, since I launched it, has become one of my best performing campaigns, both in terms of the engagement rate and in terms of the cost per click. And we can see here how it compares to one of the newer campaigns that I launched. But not only is it one of my best performing campaigns, it's also one of the ones that really had a big surprise in it. And that's because I used Hyped It's fan targeting AI to set this up and let the AI decide which audiences I should target with this campaign. And so if I go into the analytics here and I'll scroll down to the interest section, you'll be surprised to see that one of the best performing interests here is risk management. And there was risk assessment here that's also performing pretty good. So these are all the interests that the AI recommended. So in order of turning the most visitors into fans that get into Spotify. And this blows my mind. The fact that risk management comes out here as the most engaged audience, and that at scale, generating 132 clicks, it's really mind-blowing to me, because I would have never come up with this. I would have never said, all right, let me launch a campaign for this song. I'm going to target risk management, right? That would have never happened. It would have just not been on my radar that any interest that isn't obviously relatable to my music could have such a great impact on the conversions that I'm seeing on Spotify. And so I'm really grateful that the fan targeting AI brought this up and recommended it. But I wanted to go a little bit further here. I wanted to go and test really what is happening in Spotify with this campaign. It's great to see these kinds of numbers here on Hyped It, but what is really happening on Spotify is all that matters, because at the end of the day, it's about listeners, streams, and fans, way more than it is about clicks and engagement scores. And so I did a little trick here that I want to share with you, and that you might like as well, in which I sometimes track results that I'm getting on Spotify for a specific campaign. And for those of you who have been promoting your music on Spotify for a little bit longer, you'll be able to appreciate this, because Spotify doesn't give us any data about where fans are coming from, right? We can see how many listeners we have, we can see how many fans we have and streams and all of that. And we can even see which songs on which playlists fans listen to our music. But we can't really tell where they're coming from. Were they coming from social media? Were they coming from ads? Were they coming from emails? Like, what brought them into Spotify in the first place? And that makes it sometimes difficult to be able to say, well, that result I'm getting because of this activity or this particular campaign. And so one of the tricks that I sometimes use is I create an extra playlist just to receive the traffic from one particular campaign. And so what I did in this case here, I looked at this campaign and I literally just copied the ID of this campaign. So here's just 3217RI. And then I went into Spotify and it created a copy of my This Is John Gold playlist. So this is not my main playlist that I usually feed with my campaigns. This was a blank copy. No fans, no listener, no streams. And I copied everything of my John Gold playlist, the cover art, the title. The only thing I did is I added the ID of the ad campaign here at the end of this playlist. And I did that so that I was able to identify that this is the playlist I'm using for tracking. And so, by the way, if you ever in one of my videos, you see me having multiple This is John Gold playlists that I created, it's for that purpose. I use it to run experiments about how specific campaign and campaign settings really perform on Spotify. Hey, John here, interrupting myself real quick to talk about getting real listener streams and fans on Spotify fast. Look, if you've been grinding away at music promotion, but you aren't seeing the results, I've been there. Any promo method you can think of, I've tried it. Playlist promotion, social media, hire a promoter, I've done it. But nothing works like music ads on Instagram and Facebook that grow my fan base on Spotify 24/7, even when I sleep. And the fastest way to launch these ads is with the Spotify Growth Switch, a new system that uses AI to launch Spotify promo campaigns in seconds. It works for any genre, and it is so easy, just like flipping on a spotlight switch for your music. And here's the best part. Right now, it's 90% off. That means you can get $180 of value for just $17. And then watch your Spotify listeners and streams grow nonstop just for giving this a try. To check out the Spotify Growth Switch, simply click the link below in the description. And now back to the video. If I'm not mistaken, I created this playlist 12 days ago, and then I added all my regular songs from my This is John Gold playlist to it. And I made sure that all the traffic from this particular campaign obviously goes to all night. I'm using deep links with that, and actually the ad automation in Hyped sets this up all automatically. So the traffic goes directly to the song, as long as the fans open this in the Spotify app, either on mobile or on desktop. As with ads, is easy anyway, because so many ads get served on mobile devices. And so the cool thing about this is that with this unique playlist in place, I was able to track the results specifically for that campaign over the last 12 days. And I can show you here that this playlist grew by 90 saves over that time period. So clearly that's an indicator that these are real fans coming to the playlist and enjoying the music. Otherwise, why would they ever follow the playlist? But we can dive even deeper, because now I can go into Spotify for artists and I can look up the playlist over here. And this is set to 28-day stats. And if I scroll down, this is my main playlist for John Gold here. But this one is this new one that I created. And I can actually, prove this real quick by opening it up. You can see that goes to this playlist with that same name here, where I added the ID of the campaign. And if I show you the analytics here, you can see that the playlist attracted 127 listeners, and those listeners streamed my music 1,224 times. So that is pretty much a ratio of 10 streams per listener. And that blew me away, because I can honestly say that of all the playlists that I've launched, this is the highest ratio that I got out of the gate. This hasn't happened to me before. And so what that means to me is that the fan targeting AI was actually spot on. Not only did it generate an interest that got me, quote unquote, cheap clicks, but wouldn't have gotten me any results in Spotify, but there's actually some amazing signs of engagement here in Spotify right off the bat. And if I go here and I hover my mouse over that, you can see that obviously All Night is getting a lot of these listeners, but so do the other songs. Like, a lot of traffic goes to all of the other songs. So people just stream through this here. And that is pretty amazing. So to me, again, my mind was blown all over again when I noticed that something that I didn't consider could be right. Because if you see here, that the fan targeting AI recommends something like risk management and it has nothing to do with music, how could this ever perform? But the way the fan targeting AI works is that it has access to data about music and about interest that performed well for that music. And so what it's able to do is analyze which similar songs have been promoted in the past and what interests work well for those songs, and then generate interest recommendation out of it. And because of this, it was spot on in this particular case here. And so I'm blown away by the results here. This certainly outperformed the manual campaign that I created for this song. And it's a reminder to me that amazing results can come from interests that are not obviously related to the music, but where there's just a data connection and data pattern that there is a high likelihood of them performing well. And of course, in this situation here, not all the clicks and all the traffic was driven by risk management here. There's obviously some other more obviously music-related interests in here. But the fact that risk management comes out so far on top here in terms of the engagement rate, to me means that's an indicator that is likely strongly represented in the results that I see on Spotify as well. And so if you're using the fan targeting AI and you come across an interest that it recommends that makes no sense to you because it's outside of anything you've ever thought of anything that you could possibly connect to your music, and it sounds just wacky and wrong and you think the whole thing is broken, then no, this is how I felt here, and yet I was proven wrong because this performed amazing. And so the same might be the case for these wacky interests that you are seeing on your end. I would definitely give them a shot. If you want to find out where Hypedit's fan targeting AI thinks you can find more diehard fans for your music, then check out this video here above where I walk you through the exact steps on how to access this feature inside Hypedit click by click. Hypedit's a paid tool, but you can actually test this completely for free with a free trial at hypedit.com. With that said, I hope you liked this video, and if you did, don't forget to hit the like, the subscribe, and the bell buttons below so you can get more videos like this on YouTube. And if you're testing the fan targeting AI and it's generating some really interesting interest for you, leave a note in the comments below and let me know what I came up with and how it worked for you. I can't wait to hear from you, and I'll see you down there in the comments. Cheers!